So Ivan Koloff tying one arm behind his back. And I think that's all you need whenever you're watching a Whitney Wright video, just one arm.
You're probably right. You know, the thing about this is that this match is that Paul Jones in his day was a great competitor. He really was. He was a big star for Florida Championship Wrestling and for Crockett Promotions and for Georgia. He really, of course, he recently passed away, but he really was a great wrestler. He was, one time the Florida heavyweight champion, and they did this angle where he took the Florida heavyweight belt and he threw it in the bay at St. Petersburg Bay because he didn't like the people in Florida. Off the bridge there. He and Ricky Steamboat were world tag team champions. He was the U.S. champion. He was the world television champion, was Paul Jones. Never was that good on a promo. But, man, he was pretty good in the ring. Of course, Ivan Koloff, one of the greats of all time. Did you ever see the Ivan Koloff, Pedro Morales match?
No.
Where Pedro won the world title? I saw that. I think I saw it on YouTube years ago, and I'm sure that I'm not so sure if it's on there anymore. No, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, I watched it when I worked for the WWF back in '89 when I was going through, all the archives and the library. It was a great scene because it was Madison Square Garden, and Pedro was a big star there with the Puerto Rican fans they had there. And when he pinned Ivan Koloff, the police jumped up and they all stood on the apron of the ring facing out to the crowd while Pedro celebrated with his, I guess he had like seconds or manager or whatever. And to me, it had an impact on me because it was a great scene. It made it seem like it made the world title seem bigger than life because all those police and the celebration going on in the ring. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that since. But
this is the most subdued, quiet Tony Schiavone ever. In addition to your penis coladas, did you also have some weed yummies?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But I was in Alabama recently, and you can't buy CBD gummies in Georgia, but you can buy them in Alabama.
Yes, you can.
As you probably know. But unfortunately, I was at Auburn, which is not really in Alabama, nor is not really in Georgia. It's like kind of right there on the line to where no one wants to be. And I'd like to say this, and I'm sure that one Alabama fan does not listen to our podcast. But if he does, I'm going to dare him to come up to our press box and say what he said again to us.
Who? What?
Okay, so here's what happened. I get there on Friday to set up the broadcast at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And they move our press box from a very good vantage point around the 40-yard line. They move it to the end zone. Brand new press box, very nice. Got to say, very spacious. But the vantage point to be able to call a game is almost impossible. So I send a picture to Scott Howard, our play-by-play guy. I click a picture of the vantage point. Scott takes it, and he puts it on Twitter. And, of course, Scott says how terrible the vantage point is. So that lays the groundwork for this story. Game day, Scott's down front doing the pregame show. Eric Zier's his color guy. Down front at our broadcast is Eric Zier, Neil Hondo Williamson, Scott Howard, and my son Chris. They're the four down front, and I'm staying in the back. And this guy walks up, and I'm hearing this guy as Scott's trying to do a segment. And he said, Scott Howard, if you don't want to do it, then we don't want you here in Auburn. And I go fucking nuts. I take my headset off. I throw it down. I go run it down because I'm going to kick this guy's ass. I'm not, but I'm really pissed off now. And Chris Schiavone pushes me back. He says, stay away from this guy. So he pushes me back. I don't get to go down the front row, put the headset back on. The guy walks down. The guy turns around, looks back up towards us, and I pop him the bird. Just keep popping the bird as he's looking at us. I keep both birds up in the air, like, fuck you, you piece of shit. Come back here again. So what I wanted to say was, fuck that guy, and fuck that school, and fuck that stadium, and fuck that damn press box, and fuck them all. We beat you motherfuckers again. Fuck you.
Roll Tide on that.
Fuckers.
I like when you
I'm sure we've got a lot of Auburn fans who like our podcast and are pissed off at me right now, but you
Fuck
just
'em.
need to see the way we've been treated there. So fuck them.
Well, a great friend of the show, Cole Kublik. He's an Auburn grad.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, thank you. Cassio Kid, he's a huge Auburn fan.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking idiot anyway. I've never been so pissed off. It's very easy to stand outside of a press box. There's a ledge, and run your fucking mouth. Of course, now that we won the game, we barely won the game. We held on at the end. And when the final gun sound or the buzzer went off and it was 0, I'm looking down because I know where that motherfucker's sitting because I'm watching him the whole game, see if he's going to start any more shit, which he didn't. So I looked down to where he was. He had already gone. Great fan. He had already left. Fuck him. Anyway, I'm fired up.
I like when you're fired up.
Yeah, I don't get fired up about much. Listen, I was recently with the Georgia basketball team in Maui, and I just do my job. I don't get fired up about basketball. There's a lot of Georgia football games I don't get fired up about. But there are two games I always get fired up about, and we have them every year, Florida and Jacksonville and Auburn. I get fired up about those. There's a videotape on YouTube that Georgia fans watch before the Auburn game, and it's called Never Forget. And it's about the 2010 season when Cam Newton, and that was the year they won the national championship, and it was more about Nick Fairley and the dirty shit that he did during that entire game to Aaron Murray. It's called Never Forget. And it changed the complexion of the Auburn-Georgia rivalry. It really did. I never forgot. I can tell you that. Oh, look at that attempted blow by Paul Jones. Oh, he's going to beat him.
My goodness. What do you make of this?
I don't know. What were we thinking? Oh, look at this. And now the two Russian assassins, Paul Jones's henchmen, attacking Ivan Koloff after he got the win. And he's still got that hand tied behind his back.
Oh man, this is a terrible show, and I feel bad for our listeners who I selected this for. I was looking for an anniversary show and thought, hey, Clash of the Champions, Chattanooga. Yeah. And by the way, there is an interesting spot here with J.J. Dillon when he's taking on the Midnight Express. I don't know. I like the main event. It's topical because of the Dusty Rhodes thing. It's the next match, as crazy as this is, talk about weird booking. It's a singles match for the control of the 6-man tag team championship.
Oh, which, by the way, one of those belts resides in my attic, as you may know.
Whoa. You told me you gave it to some band fuck.
I didn't say that. I said, did I say that?
Who knows what you said? You also said you'd give it to me in 2017. We're damn near goddamn 2020.